Chapter 1 Eiji, Wolf of the Ninth Avenue. A wire-framed T-Rex runs, a Tyrannosaurus rex, a carnivorous reptile that reigned over the land of the Cretaceous period about 67 million years ago. The largest was 13 meters long and weighed 9 tons. It's a dinosaur, but it is a bit different from the fossil-based scientists' imaginings. It is much smaller than the T-Rex, and yet its 4 legs are remarkably developed and its 3 claws are sharp enough to crunch the flesh of its prey. Its wire-framed 3D body is covered with skin textures and mapped to bring about additional texture. Red T-Rex-like creatures run. They were herding together, one chasing prey, one stalking, one waiting. A coordinated group hunt based on advanced intelligence. Their prey is trapped. They drive it deeper and deeper into the tunnel. When the claws of the approaching Tyrannomon finally catch its prey, pow! War. With ear-splitting war, a huge squirrel object passes by at breakneck speed. It's a subway. A wire-framed train. All that the Tyrannomon, dodging the train, can see is a vermilion, the color of the line that marks the route. On the destination display, there's a mysterious string of characters that looks familiar, but is in an unknown language. It's not an ancient jungle, but a concrete underground space constructed with line drawings. The 3 Tyrannomon once again resume their chase after their escaping prey. They turn off a branch at the tunnel and go deeper underground. Splash! The sound of a foot in water. The end of the road leads to a vast sewer system. The area is so dark that not even the tips of their outstretched fingers can be seen. But the Tyrannomon are aware of their surroundings. The smell of filth from the stagnant winds, the footsteps of prey fleeing to the canal, in other words, the very air around them. Gar! The Tyrannomon lying in wait screams. Suddenly, a tornado forms, and the resulting whirlpool of water column sends the Tyrannomon flying. The off-balanced Tyrannomon falls backwards into the waterway, its belly exposed. Foushah! A follow-up shockwave from close range delivers a powerful but unexpected finishing blow. The Tyrannomon is silenced by its prey's counterattack, and the wound on its red skin, the noise, continues to spread. A pop-up billboard, a 3D digital space signage advertisement. A kabuki-like store mascot with a strong kabuki accent, wearing a black bear on its face, is advertising a new burger with 4 times more meat than any other burger on the market. I wonder there are no good part-time jobs to be had. Eiji Nagazami takes a seat on the second floor of the fast food restaurant and lingers around with the drink he got with the coupon. With smartphone in hand, he skims the topics on the social networking site Grim. Grim is a pan-global communication tool. In addition to the basic short message, voice chat, video, and live streaming functions, there are various communities based on group channels. The total number of users is probably the highest among all social networking sites. The more distinctive feature is that it also serves as a financial tool using the proprietary cryptocurrency DC Digicoin, forming a single economic zone. However, it's also half illegal. Grim is a must for freelancers like Eiji who are looking to make money, as it serves as a venue for information gathering, private sales, and crowdsourcing. Grim is essentially a network republic based on a new set of values, so to speak. The scale of its economy is such that it now threatens the real world's major powers. The hurdle for a nurturing breeder is a high one. I guess that capturing collectors is the quickest and easiest way to make money. But if you want to be a full-time hunter, you need to have a sales channel with customers. A black Agumon? 100 million DC for the capture? Eiji decides to go for it. Agumon is the name of a type of data traded by code crackers like Eiji who frequent grim anti-work of undocumented workers. Agumon Black must be an attacked organism. The dinosaur-shaped silhouette is accompanied by a description and a note about the recruitment. 100 million DC is more than 100 million yen, right? That's more money than Eiji can imagine, probably enough for him to live for 10 years without working. However, when he looks at the replies to his original comment, he immediately gets worked up. All of them are either abusive, prankish, or just begging for money. Grim is a lawless place. It's the network equivalent of a dumpster fire. Maybe this is some kind of urban legend. 100 million isn't realistic, and if it were black, it wouldn't be an Agumon. Gah, my Tyrannomon number 3. He unintentionally raises his voice. A group of high school students on the same floor glance at Eiji. Until last year, Eiji, like them, was wearing his high school uniform. They are chatting amongst themselves, enjoying their days with no goals, no worries about the future, and no real sense of purpose. Ichi stops swiping his phone and touches another gadget on the table with his other hand. It is palm-sized, with a monochrome LCD screen and control buttons. At first glance, it looks like an electronic toy. On the screen is a so-called dot image of a deformed dinosaur-like creature, Tyrannomon. That's the name that's displayed, but this one has fallen and has an X in its eyes. I was so busy looking for a part-time job that I blew all my money on it. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Eiji hits his own head repeatedly. The other two Tyrannomon, number 1 and number 2, look at him from the tiny black and white screen, one after the other. They look troubled, as if they're waiting for instructions. You can do it! Because I can't afford to lose anymore. Ichi operates the gadget and replaces the downed Tyrannomon with another one. If you can't capture the target, no food for you. Or rather, if you don't capture it, no food for me for a month. They all seem to think him strange for being so excited about the game. The high school students raise their eyebrows and shift in their seats. But this isn't a game. It's not a form of play. Eiji is a code cracker. A hacker is a person who possesses outstanding computer-related skills. Code crackers are hackers who are willing to engage in illegal and gray area activities. 2 settings: capture. Reassign target to Modoki Betamon. You'll pay for underestimating Eiji Nagasomi, aka Cracker Fang. Execute command. And go! With a click, he presses the execute button. The Tyrannomon on the monochrome LCD screen disappears somewhere. They've got a job to do. The AI will capture the prey as specified by the tool. After downing the drink in the paper cup, Eiji begins to read grim again. Tokyo University of Electrical and Computer Engineering was established as a major government program to favor and support science students who will be responsible for the future of science, technology, and the nation itself. Although relatively new, it boasts top-class research and is responsible for great strides in the field of information engineering. It's located in the Denrin district, which has become the new center of the multinational city of Tokyo. The university's reputation as a good starting point for work with global companies and so-called big tech companies has made it increasingly popular with prospective students. Adjacent to the Denver campus, there is another facility, Aberdeen Electronics Corp. AE is a leading company involved in electronic terminals, network equipment, and fabless semiconductors. The Aberdeen Electronics Digital Lab, DDL, was AE's research and development center. The first floor lobby of DDL is simpler than Eiji ever imagined. It is nothing but a reception desk and a run-of-the-mill waiting bench. The large display on the wall is not only advertising AE, it's also showing prairies, dense forests, polar seas, mountain ranges, rapids with autumn leaves, underground and caves, and environmental images of nature from each of the 4 seasons. The Digital Lab is a research facility. AE's headquarters is elsewhere. The exterior walls of the gently curved lab are green, and there is no company logo or recognizable signage. Anyone passing by might think it to be the building of the University of Electro Communications next door. Eiji looks at his reflection in the glass. He is dressed in his usual casual attire. Casual attire is apparently allowed at DDL. The people who work here are supposed to be the elite with the very best minds in the field. A freelancer with a high school diploma would be out of place, but Eiji walked to the reception desk without any hesitation, because he's here to work. Hello there. Eiji starts with a greeting. It's directed at the receptionist. Huh? What's with this suspicious looking kid? She looks at Eiji as if she's not sure what to make of him. He's not wearing a squirrel backpack, so it should be obvious this isn't a food delivery. Oh well, perhaps there are occasional college students or passerby who mistakenly enter the lab. Maybe he's being mistaken for one of them. I have an appointment. Do you mind if I type it into this tablet? A research facility is bound to have trade secrets. There are several strong guards at the gate on the other side. If this were the United States, they would be carrying handguns. Yes. Okay then. Her voice is cute too. She has short, voluminous hair that is tucked in at the collar. While her hairstyle is plain like you expected someone who works at a lab, she has a small face and a slender neck and shoulders. Is that your real name? I tend to use an alias when at work. Excuse me, but are you in show business or a writer? Neither. It's not a stage name or a pen name. Eiji, like most code crackers, uses his street name when at work. Please, use your real name if you don't mind. Eiji Nagasumi. Is phone number, appointment time, and reason for the meeting enough? Hatsune. Eiji takes a look at her nameplate. Please don't get all casual on me. Okay, Hatsune. Hatsune, the receptionist, twitched her temples. If you're here on business, put your company's name here. I don't have a company yet. Ugh. Well, my occupation is... What was this guy's department again? Oh, this is such a pain in the neck. Ichi takes out his smartphone. Tamanari Risinji, professor. Tapping the address, he sends in, "I'm here" message and decides to wait in the lobby. There are several other guests waiting. They all receive guest passes from the reception. They all look more like academics than businessmen, as if they are attending a university of computer science. Eiji looks at the object in the center of the lobby. 3 spheres floating in the air. Each sphere has a distinctive mark engraved on it. They're on a circle, more or less. They are in a circle, more or less. They are rotating, overlapping each other. They were like 3 globular clusters gravitationally pulling each other in space. Were these here before? A closer look leaves Eiji astonished. This 3-dimensional image is a hollow eyes. Hey Fang! A voice calls out his code cracker name from the other side of the gate. At the same time, the 3 objects collapse and disappear without a trace. Eiji turns around. His height is around 170 centimeters. He's a chiseled man with a bit of gray and a slight Caucasian look to him. He must be in his 60s, but his gait and posture are good, making him appear much younger. His presence is more apparent in the reactions of those around him than in the man himself. Everyone in the lobby takes notice of his unexpected appearance. Hello, Professor Ruzenji. He is one of the co-founders of the Aberdeen Electronics. He is extremely wealthy. He is one of the co-founders of Aberdeen Electronics. He is extremely wealthy. He still owns more than 20% of the shares of AE, which has a market capitalization of more than $100 billion. He also happens to be a university professor. He is the boss of Ruzenji Laboratory, which is well known in the industry, and is currently a professor emeritus at the Tokyo University of Electrical and Computer Engineering. As one of the top executives of his company, he has built it into a world-class company the past 10 to 20 years. This is my first time meeting Cracker Fang, but it certainly doesn't feel that way. I suppose you could call him a man from above the clouds. In normal circumstances, Ruzenji is not a person with whom Eiji would feel at ease. Because we're always talking over voicemail. Yes, it's me, Eiji Nagasumi. Eiji introduces himself again. Well, Fang, or Eiji, let's get going. Sorry for all the trouble we put you through, which reminds me, I'll get you a guest pass. Ruzenji goes to the reception. The suspicious kid has so casually invited the de facto boss of Japan AE that the receptionist, Hatsune, has become a little nervous and increasingly suspicious. Yes, sir, right away. I'm going to D4 and need a co-researcher. Huh? The board has given its approval just this morning. Oh, okay. Understood. Hatsune is surprised twice as she taps the terminal to confirm and issue the pass. For the first time, he holds up the special pass he has been issued and walks through the detection gate with the guard standing by, saluting him. Just by doing so, Ichi feels a little more mature. As they walk down the corridor, employees and researchers passing by greet Ruzenji. Ichi stands behind him, scurrying around and returning the smiles. For whatever reason, it's a great feeling. Professor Ruzenji, why are you called Professor? Why not the president, vice president, or chairman of the board? Probably because professor is what describes me best. Being a researcher apparently suits him. He's already left the management of AE to his former subordinates. Eiji is not sure how to deal with the management of a large company, but he is somewhat more comfortable talking to a university professor. Before we go to the office, there is something I would like to see. I'd like you to take a look at it too. I wonder what it could be. I can hardly wait. This way. They take the elevator to the next floor, where they are met by another guarded gate. It's not the airport-style detection gate in the lobby, it's a bulkhead. The area ahead seems to be completely isolated from the rest of the DDL building. The D4 compartment. This is Aberdeen Electronics' top secret. The core research that would determine the future of our company is being conducted here. Ruzenji explains its importance. The core of DDL, AE's state-of-the-art research facility, is in D4. Eiji is forced to leave his phone and personal belongings in the hands of a security guard. He is also subjected to a rigorous body check. What is it? Ryuzenji, who passed through the bulkhead gate earlier, looks back at Eiji. I'm not sure I'm ready. What? It's just an experience, Iza. Are you not into attractions? Huh? You mean the fun kind? Well, it's not like we're genetically engineering dinosaurs or researching the zombie virus. Though that would be pretty interesting. Relaxed by Ryuzenji's joke, Eiji passes through the D4 gate, and inside is a sea of networks, a domed theater. In front of Eiji, who stands in the center, is a projection of a schematic diagram constructed with wireframes. The World Web floating in the waves are servers of nations, corporations, research institutions, etc. These servers are represented as floating islands or ships. The user dives into the ocean of the network. In the deep sea region, a completely different world unfolds in front of them, the digital world. The Dome Theater plays a voice-guided tour. A wireframe schematic diagram is rendered three-dimensionally and vividly colored. It is a world different from our world, the real world. It is said to be a cyberspace that exists on a digital network. The other world, the digital world, stretches out beyond the sea of the network, scenic beauty. The picture quality is poor, but it is beautiful wilderness. It is like the environmental images seen in the entrance lobby. Inhabiting this digital world is this. Data becomes three-dimensional. Holization. This is a technology initiated by the university and put to practical use by AE. This technology is also applied to the 3D digital signage seen in the city. A digital monster, a Digimon. Something is hollowized. At first glance, it looks like a frog. It is a tadpole on the verge of becoming a frog, with its tail still attached. It is green like a watermelon with black stripes. It is characterized by its mohawk-like dorsal fins, claws on its arms and legs, and exaggerated fangs. The frog-like data is displayed. A Digimon is an information life form living in the digital world, a living AI. It's something you won't find in any textbook. A living AI? Digimon are made up of a variety of motifs. Fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, plants, insects, crustaceans, mollusks, machines, chemical phenomena, and other phenomena, as well as 8 million gods, Buddha, and demons, all of which holographically appear one after another. The discovery of the digital world and the history of its research. What are Digimon? Digital monsters. Digimon evolution, baby, child, adult, perfect, and ultimate form. There are three basic attributes of Digimon classification. The explanation of the Hollowized Digimon is followed by a presentation showing images of the Digimon. That's the object I saw in the lobby. A three-colored laser beam is emitted from the object, repeatedly illuminating Eiji, who stands in the center of the Dome Theater, in total awe of what he's seeing. The three attributes that form the basis of Digimon taxonomy, virus, data, and vaccine, are the motifs for the three types of Digimon, Ryuzenji explains. Digimon are the fruit of contact with the digital world, a new world on the network that has helped prop up humanity. Digimon have revolutionized human society. The use and application of Digimon as AI tools has led to remarkable discoveries in areas such as software development, cryptographic security, and AI drug discovery. However, it is still a secret of mankind. Most of the world's people still do not know that the digital world exists. Suddenly, the image is disrupted. The Dome Theater vibrates, and even if they did, they wouldn't understand it anyway. The tone of the dialogue changes. It sounds like he has been possessed by a machine. There is good and bad. Digimon can be misused as tools of cybertourism. These misuses are so-called Digimon crimes. The scene in the video suddenly jumps to the real world. We find ourselves in the passenger cabin of a airliner. Wings can be seen outside the window. The plane is flying above the clouds at night. The roar of its jet engine is audible. One of the passengers is filming the cabin with his smartphone. Sleeping on the other side of the plane, covered with a blanket, is the photographer's wife, lover, or daughter. Boo! A realistic wind noise deafens Eiji. The world is flooded with noise and then silence. War. Without warning, vision goes dark. The angle of the image is disturbed and alert. An oxygen mask comes down to the cabin, screams confusion. Eiji averts his eyes. He can't watch anymore. But there's also nothing he can do. The airliner suddenly drops its nose and crashes headlong out of the clouds at an altitude of more than 30,000 feet. Tomonari Roshinji has always been a world leader in the discovery of the digital world and research to digital monsters. He is the reason why AE's digital lab is located next to the university. I know of no other case where a single researcher has made such a significant contribution to the university's reputation and the company's business performance. The remarkable development of the university and AE was all made possible by Professor Roshinji. Wonderful! Roshinji's face beams with admiration as he inspects the gadget that Eiji had delivered to him, a digital dock. DDL Roshinji's office. It's a private room with part of the wall made of glass. It looks like a university laboratory with shelves crammed full of equipment, materials, and cardboard boxes. When Roshinji connects his Digimon dock to the lab's equipment, the Digimon that Eiji captured is holoized. It's a frog-like creature with a tail. It is indeed a Modoko Betamon, as requested. Look at those gentle, beautiful curves. Roshinji traced the outline of Modoki Betamon's image with his finger. Among the data found in the unknown digital world, this digital monster, or Digimon, an AI program, is sold at a high price on the grim market due to its convenience, scalability, and rarity. It took 3 Tyrannomon to capture that one. Eiji makes his appeal as he set his bags down on the work disk. They're not in D4, so he's had his personal belongings. They're not in D4, so he's had his personal belongings returned to him. Wow, sounds tough. Betamon have a habit of throwing their dorsal fins when they're in trouble. When it comes to Modoki Betamon, a shockwave is emitted from their dorsal fin. Eiji's Tyrannomon, number 3, which was used for capture, was killed by its blade fin technique. Yes, but Professor, I'm not sure how, but this Modoki Betamon is different from others. How do you mean? Roshinji seems miffed. Eiji, you don't know? You really don't know the difference between Betamon and Modoki Betamon? Eiji is unhappy to have disappointed his client. Well, is it the color that's different? Yes, the color of Modoki Betamon isn't nearly as vivid. You really do know the difference. I'll add a bit of a bonus to reward this time. Yes, thank you for that. It looks like my guess was correct. Now I can have a beef bowl with pickles and a raw egg for dinner. The client seems very satisfied. Roshinji begins to transfer the Modoki Betamon data to the lab equipment. Eiji, I wanted to ask, how was what you experienced earlier? Earlier? You mean the video in D4? It was really great. That was a promotional video. We used to have a plan to expand into the entertainment sector. It was to be called Digimon Land. Nice. The idea was to sell Digimon as characters to the general public who don't know anything about the digital world. I especially like that Digimon are AI creatures. Fantasy, fiction. If I were a kid, I'll be hooked. Eiji let his imagination get the best of him. Digimon are alive. Roshinji speaks. Digimon are alive. It would be a lot of fun if Digimon were really alive. There are stew enthusiasts who keep Digimon like digital pets, and there are collectors like you. For a codecracker like me, Digimon are a useful AI tool. For Eiji, Digimon are a important tool for his work. Eiji is currently using Tyrannomon. They are a relatively commonly captured Digimon in the digital world, and a lot of them are traded on Grim. When in the world can you find it? The Digimon Land you speak of. It's forever been shelved. Roshinji lets out a sigh of disappointment. Oh dear. It's hard to make it real. That's why the digital world remains a secret of mankind. Roshinji's words remind Eiji of the images of the plane crash he had just been shown. There are people who use Digimon for crimes. There are codecrackers who are not good at what they do. Codecrackers are generally in the gray zone, but even among them, there are those who are black and white. And then there are gray that are almost white and gray that are almost black. There are those who are nice to talk to, and there are those who are really bad, criminals, and even those who are enemies of all mankind. Anyway, network failures, information theft through unauthorized access, and cyber terrorism have been occurring frequently here and there in recent years. In fact, Digimon as an AI tool has a lot to do with it. As shown in the video, there was an incident in which a Digimon was used by a terrorist. There was an incident in which a Digimon used by a terrorist actually brought down an airplane. That, of course, has not been made public. Digimon and the digital world were unknown to the Digimon and the digital world were unknown to the general public. The leaders of the world and international organizations have been covering up the existence of the Digimon and the digital world. In any case, it would be too much of a scandal if a character from a theme park was used as a tool for criminals to commit cyber terrorism. Publicizing the digital world in Digimon means publicizing Digimon crimes to the world. What do you think will happen if we do? Panic. Exactly. The media, whose job it is to stir up anxiety about Digimon being invaders from another world, will start to make a fuss. It would be easy and short-sighted to assume that the digital world and Digimon are evil. The majority of human beings still don't know about the digital world, and even if they do, they don't understand it. Ruzenji, being the genius that he is, says something that's difficult for Eiji to understand. That there is another world beyond the network, that there is another world beyond the network that is different from the real world, that Digimon are actually alive. And even if they do, they don't understand it. Professor Ruzenji, the first thing that he did was to ask himself, is there a real world where the Digimon are alive? Digimon are alive. Cracker Fang, Eiji, don't you want to know? The real world and the digital world, the truth of the two worlds. Don't you want to see the other side of the world? Well, of course I would. Eiji is immediately excited. I mean, I know nothing about it. For me, the digital world is all the information on the black and white screen of that digital dock. But Professor, the world you're seeing, it must be different from what I'm seeing, right? Yes, it must be like the one I saw in the video, the sea of networks, the real world and the digital world. A glimpse of the world beyond the noise. Do you know why the image I showed you in D4 is top secret? Do you know why it's kept secret from the public? It's because, Eiji says, the images are real? Because it's not a fictional promotional video, but an actual video of the digital world? Yes, that video is an imaginary image of the true digital world generated by the AI based on observed data. And Digimon really do live in the digital world. So the real extraterrestrials are on the digital network, not in outer space. Ryuji looks into Eiji's eyes. What he's saying is not a metaphor or unique way of looking at things. Digimon are alive. Eiji looks at the hollow-eyed Madoki Betamon. It's alive. If that's the case, then Tyrannomon, which he has been using as an AI tool, are also alive? And all the other Digimon? To see firsthand with our own eyes the state of the digital world and the state of the Digimon, to see the digital world directly with the five human senses, not with virtual monitors and observational data. To break the yoke between the real world and the digital world, as it actually is. That is exactly why I, Tamanari Ruzenji, decided to devote my life to researching everything I do and has been done for the sake of D4. The data transfer from Doki Betamon is finally complete. Ruzenji removes Eiji's Digimon dock from the device, picks it up with his fingers, and looks at it. "Oh, thanks." Eiji extends his hand. Snap! Ruzenji tosses the Digimon dock aside. What? Eiji leaps towards the Digimon dock and intercepts it before it hits the trash. What are you doing? He was so overcome with energy that he face planted straight into the trash can. Eiji's dock was his own creation made of used parts. Even though it was mostly junk, it still cost a lot of money. There was an error in the memory. Seriously? Ruzenji is a Digimon collector, and being a Digimon collector, he is very careful about the condition of his data. I'm more careful about the condition of my data than anyone else, especially when it comes to my work. The data of the Madoki Betamon was almost destroyed. Even still, you don't just throw it away. You know, Professor, the financial situation of freelance code crackers is different from that of large corporations. You can't pay for everything yourself, you can't get receipts, and you can't use all that high-spec equipment you see here as much as you want. Hello? Eiji is puzzled. Ruzenji is speaking in a peculiar way. He is, after all, a genius scientist, the highest caliber in Japan. He can be forgiven for coming across as at least a bit eccentric. Sorry about that. Oh, but it's just about perfect. Let me see your arm. Huh? He doesn't know what could possibly be perfect, but he does as he's told. Ruzenji attaches something to Eiji's left wrist. Eiji, take a deep breath. When was the last time he felt like this? When his parents bought him a new video game console when he was a kid? When he got his first smartphone? No, this is many times greater than either. He has a feeling that his entire world will expand just by wearing it. I'll give you this. It's a wristwatch-like gadget. Aberdeen Electronics Core. Is this a state-of-the-art Digimon dock and a smartwatch type? Eiji feels Abaddon Electronics Core. Is this a state-of-the-art Digimon dock and a smartwatch type? Eiji feels like jumping up and down and doing 3.5 cartwheels. AE's products are easy to modify into digital monitors and are highly regarded among code crackers. And this is a genuine AE product. It's a trade secret because it's related to Digimon. This is the prototype of a product I've been working on. Professor Ruzenji, now I didn't already know this, but you're amazing. On Eiji's arm, the wristwatch type Digimon dock begins to set itself up automatically. I'm also the technical director of the Digimon dock division. It has a biometric vital sensor, so it can only be used by you, the person to whom it's registered. Oh, so it's only for me. It's a medical device class sensor. It's a medical device class sensor. It records pulse, blood pressure, respiration, body temperature, and so on. It comes with a 24-hour medical support system via our life support. So I'm going to be healthy. Eiji responds enthusiastically. It also supports the holization function. Originally, Digimon holization was only allowed at DDL and a few other facilities, but this is a special exception. Anyway, it's special. But this is a prototype. Is it really okay? There must be some kind of catch. You have nothing to worry about. This is simply a gift from me to you. Oh, wow. But here's the thing. Yep, I knew there was a catch. I know you better than you may think. That being said, Eiji has no intention of parting with his smartphone-type Digimon dock. He wants it. The Digimon Linker is, without a doubt, a digitally enhanced version of Eiji's own dock. I want to see what Cracker Fan can do with it when I ask him to do his next job. I'll do it. That was fast. That's good. I like that about you. Ruzenji takes Eiji's arm and presses a switch on the side of the Digimon Linker. The screen glows faintly. A mysterious flame seems to flicker from the clock screen. The tiny color screen showed a Digimon he had never seen before. Eiji's eyes twinkle. A dog? After receiving a new request from Professor Ruzenji, Eiji goes to the gate alone and returns to the reception hall on the first floor. The yoke between the real world and the digital world. In the center of the hall, the three-way object is being hollowized. Oh, good evening. Hatsune speaks to him from the reception desk. Do I return my pass here? Please put it here. Thank you very much. Eiji returns the pass. Hatsune notices the device on his arm. Oh, this? Professor Ruzenji gave it to me. Do you know of it? It's a Digimon dock. Eiji shows off his new smartwatch-type gadget to Hatsune. Hatsune scurries around and then whispers back, "It's confidential, isn't it? The newest model? Maybe it was her position as receptionist, or maybe not. But she seems to be a very well-informed person. It's just a test run of a prototype. Wow. That Professor Ruzenji would immediately ask you to do a test run for him is impressive. He must really trust you." Rather than flattering him, Hatsune seems to be genuinely surprised. I wonder. You really think so? Absolutely. Professor originally looked so. Hatsune hushes her voice. He's got a certain awkwardness about him. He is peculiar, isn't he? Eiji just blurts it out. Hatsune's attitude is completely different from the first time he saw her, but that's not a bad thing. I'll see you later. Sure, Nakasumi. You can call me Eiji. Likewise, you can call me Hatsune or whatever you want. So, this is your admission record. I noticed that the occupation section is still blank. If you don't mind me asking, what should I put here? What should I put there? Hatsune is fidgety, as if anticipating something. My occupation? Eiji thinks a little. I'm a freelancer. I have no set occupation. Basically, I have no established job. I'm Eiji Nakasumi, a code cracker. Hatsune's reaction was the most subtle of the day. There are two major ways to obtain Digimon in the digital world. One is to capture Digimon by making full use of tools. The other is to collect Digimon eggs known as Digitama. They are a bit different from the eggs of birds or fish. First of all, it is currently accepted that Digimon do not have a gender. They are neither male or female. So, how are Digimon born then? When a Digimon dies, it leaves behind data that can be called its soul. Then, somewhere in the digital world, they are reborn as a new Digimon. This sounds like reincarnation, but there's much we still don't know about the ecology of Digimon. Humanity still knows very little about the digital world. The night is not yet over. Dusk and twilight are forever and ever. No, what looks like the sky is a sea of networks. What looks like clouds are the waves of the web, and shooting stars are streams of information. It's like the bottom of air. The simmering pale light comes from the real world far above the surface of the sea. The networked world is brilliant and beautiful, but the world in which many are living is, without exception, somehow broken and stagnant. Rusty iron rains down. The wind smells of blood. Sewage, with its pungent smell of chemicals, bubbles up before being swept away. A drainage ditch. It is not. It's more like a blockaded city where mineral poisons flow. It's more like a blockaded city where mineral poisons flow. A trail of strange fluorescent a trail of strange fluorescent a trail of strange fluorescent colors glowing in places, a trail of unidentifiable garbage data chipping away at the seawall, spewing out of the fence in estuary. Why is there a flow in the digital world? The flow of time. Why are there natural phenomena such as the flow of matter and weather? Why is there such a mountain of garbage, obviously brought about by life and society? According to one theory, network contact with the real world, including human society, has brought about such diversity and circulation of data in the digital world. If this is true, Europeans once discovered a new continent, bringing with them pathogens that could destroy the local empires. It's like the plot of a suspense movie in a science fiction world where interstellar travel. It's like the plot of a suspense movie in a science fiction world. It's like the plot of a suspense movie in a science fiction world where interstellar travel has become possible and an unknown bacterium attached to a spacecraft causes a terrifying crisis. The contact between mankind and the digital world has changed this other world and the creatures living in it. Is this a good or a bad thing? Nobody knows. It is not the job of the police to determine right from wrong. In the area, there are many hidden agendas. A wireframe schematic appears on the heads-up virtual monitor. The last coast. Whoever named it aside, it's a beach of red iron sand. Digitama collected in the trash data stream often wash ashore here. Some poachers even take advantage of that. Deputy Squad Leader, we have a suspicious Digimon in sight. A police radio voice chat comes in. A red dot of light flashes across the map of the story area on the virtual monitor. It's an unidentifiable Digimon. This is Tamaheim. Continue the search. She borrows the eye of her Digimon, which sticks out from the river's surface like a periscope. Detailed search is underway. Epsimon, child, cyborg, virus type. Got it. So it's like a tin toy. It's a Digimon with an appearance that is hard to describe and difficult to report. At quick glance, it looks like a retro comedy robot show toy from the Showa era. The body is big-headed, like an upturned snowman with manipulator arms and a block. The body is big-headed, like an upturned snowman with manipulator arms and only a rocket-propelled nozzle on its legs. 4 bodies in total. You got a code cracker on you. All 4 of these bots are toast. A click of the tongue. A bot is police slang for a Digimon that is automatically controlled by a tool. Digimon are all the rage among code crackers these days. Cyborg type Digimon are good with tools. It's a good choice for beginners. Digimon are left in the digital world and left to the AI tools that will help them search a certain area and capture and collect the data that they are looking for. It's a common code cracker technique. If this were a real server, the target would be trade secrets and personal information. But in this remote part of the digital world, what can code crackers possibly make money from? How many Digitama did you get? Only 1 so far. Eavesdropping, listening in on the code crackers' grim voice chat conversations. The voices are young. No evidence of voice changer use. All the voice chats are getting leaked. Are they amateurs? The Digimon is a bot, but the code crackers who control it are also connected to the internet. Basically, it's like they're playing a game on the internet. Deputy Squad Leader, what should we do? Much like the code crackers, they are controlling the Digimon with docks and tools. The view of the rusty coast in the digital world is also observed in the form of schematic diagrams and numbers on virtual monitors, but is not directly seen or smelled. We know, but we don't understand. Were those the words of some famous scholar? The only one who knows, and she is the only one here, is the deputy squad leader Satsuki Tamahain. The tool blocks more than 99% of the sense of smell. Satsuki's Digimon actually love poor environments like this rusty iron beach. Police can't just pick and choose when it comes to criminals. Arrest them all. More than 10 green dots suddenly appear on the virtual monitor schematic. The code crackers Epsimon have long been surrounded by Satsuki and the police, forcibly jammed the voice chat. Then, the Commandramon squads would take control of the targets from 2 directions. Understood. The Epsimon are not aware of what's going on. The code crackers cannot see them in the first place, and they probably don't even know where the Digimon are. The only thing they can't see is the crude LACD screen of the Digimon docks in their hands, so they are not alerted to what's going on. But Satsuki, she can see them, as they actually are, with awe of her senses. She is the one who has transcended the yoke. How dare you? How dare you, code crackers, come here? Voice chat jammed, followed by a warning. The Epsimons finally notice their presence as they hear a beautiful voice echoing in the background. At that moment, the Digimon under Satsuki, who have been creeping along secretly, stand up and surround the poachers. Commandramon, child cyborg virus. Commandramon, child cyborg virus type. It's a Digimon equipped with police regulations. In appearance, they look like Dragon Men or Lizard Men. They are equipped with helmets and body armor with police written on them and wield assault rifles. Commandramon have a special textured surface that allows them to apply electronic welfare camouflage based on their surroundings. This allows them to approach the enemy undetected. Digitama detected. The Commandramon secure the poached Digitama. Their tools and everything else are also secured. All that remains is to arrest the actual code crackers themselves to finish the job. Nothing more to say after that. Who's that? The Digipolice! Come on! The code crackers finally grasp what's going on, but can do nothing more than grumble in the voice chat. Satsuki gives the current time of the arrest and charges. You've been caught red-handed. Go quietly or else. There's no escape. You've already been cracked. The police mean business. We already have your names and schools. The problem is that these code crackers seem to have been high school students. They might only be taken into custody, not officially arrested. Some bad influences probably urge them to be code crackers for profit. This kind of thing happens all the time. Arrested? On what charge? We've done nothing wrong. Violation of the Unauthorized Computer Access Prevention Act, the Basic Network Act, and the Digital Vandalism Prevention Act. In other words, you're guilty of poaching Digitama. Satsuki speaks bluntly. This is the digital world. It's not a nation. Why are the Japanese police getting involved? The code cracker kids may think they are wiser than the rest of us, but they're not going to get away with this. Satsuki breathes in and out, her voice thick with a hint of dread. Freedom of the network, freedom of the digital world. By that you mean... That's the crack team's philosophy, is it not? It's a big topic, but you can talk all you want and sleep on... But you can talk all you want in your sleep on your social networking sites. I'll knock your teeth out, you code crackers. Boom, 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 boom. Satsuki's Digimon, which had been hiding underwater with only its eyeballs protruding from the surface, appears like a submarine. Squee. The red lights and the patrol lights rotate. The sights of the Digimon, their horrible moaning, and the slimy power make the code cracker Epsimon tremble. Satsuki's Digimon, listen to me with your ears plugged. In reality, you're all Japanese citizens. For as long as you're involved in illegal activities, you're going to be in trouble with the Japanese police, and you're going to have your guardians called. The Ipsimon suddenly disappear, one after another. The Commandramon lose sight of the targets at the end of their muzzles. It's vanishing magic. As soon as the Epsimon press the buttons on their belly buttons, they disappear, melting into the rusty seaside background. Octopus camouflage? You're nuts! An invisibility cloak, simultaneous fire. The Commandramon on off fire at the same time. The firepower of the entire squad. The Epsimon, clad in camouflage and outmatched by Commandramon, however, managed to slip past the police encirclement. This has nothing to do with the code crackers operation, but with the Digimon's AI self-defense mechanism. Minakarimon! As soon as Satsuki gives the order, 2 more Digimon appear behind her, camouflaged. This Digimon is larger than Epsimon and Commandramon in terms of scale, and is about 3 to 4 meters tall. Its body color is white. Its appearance is that of a robot, a humanoid power suit with long arms. Although Digimon are officially classified as police equipment, Minakarimon are classified as special purpose vehicles. Inside is a dedicated Commandramon who is in charge of piloting the vehicle. When the monocle probes the area with a glare. By equipping it with powerful detectors, sensors, and other electronic welfare equipment, the Monakarimon can serve as a field command vehicle. Scree! An optical weapon is emitted from the linear lens embedded in the body of the Monakarimon. Twinkle beam. A laser beam grazes one of the invisible Epsimon. With the flurry of sparks, the optical camouflage dissolves and the Epsilon falls into the beach among the dancing and scattering iron sand. The 3 red dots on the virtual monitor are fading, flashing, and falling apart. You won't get away! Fire! The next round is charging. They can't all be caught. Satsuki and his subordinates aboard the Makorimon communicate. Petite impulse! A beat of lightning pierces the rusty coast along with a thunderclap. Satsuki's reaction is delayed by this unexpected event. Huh? The Epsimon? The police radio blares. One after another, the blackened Epsimons crash and become wreckage. A lightning bolt strikes the 3 remaining Epsimons simultaneously and with great precision. Who is it? Setsuki looks at the new marker that has appeared on the heads-up virtual monitor. It's just standing there, seemingly unperturbed. On top of a deactivated Epsimon, it looks like the legendary beast Spirit of Thunder. Is that a Postmon? It is difficult to even catch the sight of the Digimon that moves at high speed in a zigzag pattern, as it is known as the electric lightning. Is this a new code cracker? The Commandramon squad points its gun at it. I'm the one who uses Postmon. Setsuki knows the name all too well. There's only one person that the police know of. It's a hacker. Deputy squad leader. Your orders. The hacker. Judge. Zap. Postmon glances at Suzuki's Digimon. You've got a soft spot for Digimon, Deputy Squad Leader of the Digi-Police. Postmon gives her a smile and a kiss, and then immediately flies away like a bolt of lightning into the sea of networks. Ugh, I'm pissed off. Deputy Squad Leader, the Commandramon squad asks for instructions. Satsuki is shaking inside with anger at being ridiculed, but she manages to maintain her composure as a field commander. We've got the Epsimon under control, and the poached Digitama are secured. I'll leave the rest in the real world to the authorities. That Postmon is. Leave that hacker joke alone. He's not going to catch up with us anyway. And besides, Satsuki is clearly flustered. The hacker linked to Postmon is the same kind of hacker as Satsuki, one who has broken the yoke. Copy that, Deputy Squad Leader. Sorry, we're going over the K-line. If you exceed the time limit, you'll be in trouble with the Squad Leader, and you'll be penalized with a pay cut. Yes, after you. And the Digimon, the subordinate, reports quickly. Huh? Satsuki is now in an uncontrollable mood. The Digitama that had been lying on the beach earlier are now gone. And of course, they were stolen. Like a bolt of lightning. Postmon, hacker judge, give us back our evidence.